Okay, so now that we're here, we want to do a little bit of color correction. There's a little bit of blotchiness that was left over. Not a big deal, but I am going to correct it. And the way that I do this is I had my group, which is my frequency separation. I'm just going to name it FS for frequency separation. And as you remember, this is where I had stored my text and my blur layer, right? So what I want to do now is I want to come here to my blur layer and I want to add a layer above that. This is just a blank layer and I'm going to call it CC for color correction. And the way that I want to correct her skin is actually very subtle. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I just want to correct some of the blotchiness right there, right along her mouth, which is normal. That's really about it that I see in this picture. Okay, so the way that I always do this is I always come here to the eyedropper tool. I always make sure that I'm on 5x5 average on current and below. And again, I'm not going to get into the technicality of it. There are plenty of videos out there that explain this. I'm just simply showing you how to go about it. I'm going to come here to my brush tool. And usually this right here is at 100. What I want to do is I want to switch it to 5%. Okay. Now that I'm here, I'm going to sample this area right here to correct this area over here. And the way that I do this is I press the Alt button like this, and it brings up the little eyedropper tool. And if you press your left mouse button, this is going to pop up, and that is what it sampled. So here's the color that it chose based on your sample. And what it did is it sampled 5 by 5 pixels. So that's 25 pixels. Okay, I believe. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to correct this area like that. Bam. And I want to show you the before and the after. Now, again, this is very subtle, but it's just enough to make your picture a little bit better. Okay. And I want to color correct this area over here. So I'm going to sample that. And let's see what it did. Yeah, just a little bit, just enough. I don't want to overdo it. So again, there's blotchiness here. Good. And I'm just being very careful about how I do this. This could become very disastrous very soon. You want to just be really, really careful about all of this. A little bit goes a long way, basically, when it comes to this technique. I'm just going to make that bigger, sample this area, and just go down that way. Very, very carefully. Like that. And I want to show you really quick that looked like before and after. And if you look all around here, you're going to see the before and after. There we go. Good. Now, if you don't like it, if something wasn't something that you liked, that's fine. You can go ahead and get your eraser tool. Like, for example, right here, I wanted it darker. And there we go. That's a lot better. That is exactly how I do a color correction on the skin. Now, if I want to do a dodge and burn, a little bit goes a long way with dodge and burn. So you want to be really careful here. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have a copy of everything that I just did. So again, I'm going to press Alt Control Shift E to make a copy. And this is going to be my dodge tool. Okay. And what I want to do here is I always dodge first because burning for me is very difficult and it becomes something that I have to redo sometimes. But I'm going to go to my dodge tool, which is right here. Okay. And I'm on 5%. This is really all I'm going to need. I'm not going to need a lot. I'm going to resize my diameter here. And I'm just going to go over this area really quick. And I want to show you the before and the after. Okay. And the areas that I'm focusing on are areas that should naturally be highlighted anyways. So the tear ducts along with the eyes. And I'm going to show you the before and after again, because you may not be able to see it very clearly, but trust me, you're doing something. It's just very hard for us to look at the changes when they're so small. I want to make sure that I focus right here on the Cupid's bow. This area is naturally highlighted on most people. And I'm going to go ahead and just go over her lips really quick. So dodge and burn, a little goes a long way. Again, you want to be careful with it, okay? So that's my dodging, and it made her skin look a little bit healthier. The little healthy glow that everybody usually has. But with lighting and all of the editing that we did, it did flatten her face a little bit. So this also gives her a little bit more dimension. So now that I'm here, I'm going to make a copy, because this is the part that I really don't like. This is burn. And I personally don't prefer doing burning, but I understand why it has to be done. And so now there's certain areas that need to be burned to give her a little bit more definition and a little bit more contour. So this right here, the nose area, I just went ahead and burned just a little bit. And I'm going to show you the before right here and the after. And you can barely see it, like you really can't. So I'm just going to do it one more time. Before and after. And now you can see it. And it gave her nose a little bit more contour. Another place that you really want to contour is around her face. Like that. And it was so subtle, like you can barely tell what I just did. Okay. And I am going to come down this way and make a triangle. Like that. And that is my finished product for the skin. Okay. So this is the before and this is the after. Now I'm going to take you through the layers that we just did, just so that you can see everything that was done to this picture. So the very first thing that we did is we went ahead and corrected the skin. Then we did a frequency separation with color correction. And the very last thing that we did was a dodge and burn. And that is how you get your pictures looking professionally edited with realistic skin editing. And it does take a while, but it is super worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this, if this was helpful. And then I'll be doing a little bit more.